Well, welcome everyone. My name is 𝕯𝖊𝖚 Monroe, also known as the Map Maker. I'm the creator of something called Deep State Mapping Project, which goes by the acronym D.S.M.P, which is an art installation that is disguised as an intelligence operation. And we do infographics explaining the world to humanity. Some of the subjects we cover include geopolitics, ufology, spirituality, and financial system. I'm also a podcaster. I'm on Rumble as New Templars and on YouTube as DSMP Nexus. They did match at one time, but we were banned off YouTube in 2021 for speaking a little too much truth. So I am at this expo as a vendor under the booth name Ashtar Outpost. Ashtar is the spiritual guardian force of our solar system. So I have a few things to show you related to these subjects. This is one of the newest AI images of Ashtar that I'm quite a big fan of. Now, this is not my religion, but in seeking the deepest truths about our world, I've been guided to the Pleiadians, first and foremost, and more specifically to Ashtar Command, which is almost like a spiritual/military branch of the Pleiadians. And to describe what is Ashtar Command is this. Ashtar Sharan is an extraterrestrial who has been in telepathic contact with humanity since the early 1950s. He's the administrative director of Ashtar Command, the airborne division of the Great Brotherhood of Light, under the spiritual guidance of Lord Sananda, known to Earth as Jesus. Composed of millions of starships and personnel from many civilizations, Ashtar Command is here to assist Earth and humanity. Through the current Yuga cycle transition we are experiencing and the ongoing planetary ascension. So with that in mind, I herald the presence of Ashtar Command as the co-creator of this presentation. So the main focus of this talk is going to be a series of short group meditations. I've been very inspired by my experiences at this same expo in the past, and I would like to recreate some of the most impactful group meditation experiences that I've had at Victory of Light. Well, this was formerly Victory of Light before it was Body, Mind, Spirit Expo in the past, including a few short meditations to meet our spirit guides, developing our astral projection abilities, and our manifestation abilities. So we'll get to that in a minute, but I'm going to go over a little more of what the work I do is all about before we get to that. But I want you guys to know that these are very powerful events for group meditations. I meditate in my solo practice as well, but I've noticed very strongly at these events, the power of the collective is amplified. The people who choose to come to these events are, whether you want to be psychic or feel like you have no abilities yet, you are all very powerful together and powerful in numbers. You are the psychic army of the forces of the light, and you are not weak. You are powerful light warriors fighting through very dark times that we are in. So our three meditations will focus on grounding ourselves, meeting our spirit guides, astral projection, and manifestation. So I was going to bring a few maps to hold up. I usually bring some of my infographics. I usually have a slideshow, but we're doing things a little bit different at this expo, staying more in the present, focusing more on meditations. But just to talk through a few of my infographics, if you do come to my booth after this, which is booth 421 upstairs, Ashtar Outpost, the main tapestry we have displayed is the Ashtar timeline, which again goes back to Ashtar and some of this Pleiadian literature. And it's actually, that one is a bibliography of a lot of the most important and impactful Pleiadian and Ashtar channeling books that have been published in the past. I have done some automatic writing myself in the past, since I've been coming to these expos for almost about 10 years now. I've greatly developed my astral projection abilities, my automatic writing techniques. And so these are a few Ashtar publications I brought. This is the Ashtar Tribute to Ashtar, which is a compilation of several different channelers. And this is the Dynamics of Cosmic Telepathy, which I was already doing a lot of these techniques prior to reading this book. It was like very intuitive, but this really tells you how, a lot of the mediums here are in contact with your ancestors, they're mediums and they contact the dead or your lost relatives or angels, but not too many of them actually acknowledge that there are extraterrestrials out there in our universe that can offer us guidance as well, positive ones as well as ones connected with some of our spiritual conceptions of the higher realms, connected with Christianity, connected with Hinduism and other religions. And so that's something to be aware of. Beyond the Ashtar timeline, a big chunk of our infographics focus on health and healing. So the first health and healing diagram I actually received in a vision one morning, completely unexpectedly. I just saw the whole thing of an infographic comparing big pharma versus holistic medicine. And that has ended up being both our best-selling infographic and the one that has gone the furthest online, gone viral. Is actually being plagiarized by several sites currently that I'm not making any money from. But the more people wake up to leaving big pharma and moving towards holistic medicine, the sooner this old system will fall and we'll all be in better health. And I believe that we'll be living much longer lifespans as well. I focus a lot on longevity. And on that subject, the subject of longevity, a few years after I completed the healing web, I did another diagram called the infinite life vortex, which focused even more on the holistic side of things. It provided 30 different conditions with 30 different sets of causes and remedies. And it also provided 30 different fields of holistic medicine, from electric medicine to detox to maintenance, all these different categories of holistic medicine, which was the ultimate vision of the original diagram, focused more on the holistic side. So I highly encourage you guys to come to my booth and check that out and learn about holistic medicines. These are great catalogs of all different aspects of holistic medicine that you can take with you. If you forget about one, it's a great reference guide. Some of our newest things have focused more on nutrition and nourishment, as well as bringing attention to seed oils and the fact that seed oils are in all processed foods. Most people are unaware of it, but essentially avoiding the canola oils, the soybean oils, and this is like almost unavoidable in most of those packaged products you'll find in the central section of your grocery store. But I've worked with several fairly high-level health and fitness influencers in my past, and the consensus among those types of influencers is that those seed oils cause inflammation and cause a lot of the chronic health conditions that afflict humanity today. And it's better to focus on olive oil, cold-pressed oils, as well as coconut oil for cooking. And animal fats such as butter are now considered better alternatives to these seed oils today. So that's just a little bit of my most current projects in terms of the mapping and the diagrams. And from here forward, I'd like to move more into what we're going to do in this actual presentation and the meditations. So a lot of my diagrams have been assisted telepathically, I believe, by higher forces, where you call them my spirit guides or guardian angels or extraterrestrials. For me personally, I connect with the Pleiadians, like I mentioned. And a lot of this information is received through a mechanism that I call Lightcodes. One of the main things that I have received and downloaded in these experiences is this symbol, which I consider a symbol to represent Lightcodes themselves. Lightcodes are data transmissions embedded within light that carry transformative wisdom from higher dimensions. They're often associated with spiritual awakening, personal development, and Lightcodes can manifest in various forms, including symbols, sounds, colors, sacred geometry, and they communicate directly with the soul, bypassing the limitations of spoken language. This symbol represents the understanding of Lightcode technology. Rotate it 120 degrees, its three orientations represent the Stargate, the pyramid, and the sailboat. The Lightcode symbol's purpose is to serve as a magnetic beacon for incoming Lightcodes and universal guidance. So whoever your guides may be, this symbol can help you connect with them. And so this is becoming, it's almost like a symbol for my brand, but I don't trademark it because I believe that it is universal wisdom that has come all the way down from Atlantis. I've seen it in dreams. And so we're doing this as jewelry, stickers, etc. Eventually probably sculptures, and maybe even adorning the exterior of buildings in the future. So during these meditations, I'm going to be doing some sound baths. So you're going to be hearing the singing bowls, and I'll be doing some ohms and some chanting. I've been having light language come through me for several years now, and I do something you could call deep Tibetan light language. And so as I make these sounds during the meditation, it should hopefully have the effect of deepening the meditation and giving you a more impactful experience and connecting you better with your guides. So with that, we're going to start beginning the first group meditation, which will be all about essentially a warm-up meditation intended to ground you and introduce you to your spirit guides. And even if you already know your spirit guides, if you've already been introduced to them, this could help you meet additional ones. And spirit guides, people connect with their ancestors, people connect with animal spirits, people connect with angel spirits, perhaps cosmic beings, many different types of spirit guides out there. And so just you'll have to see what comes through. And even if you already know them, it could be a relative of one of them or a variation of one of them. And so there's always new ones to meet. And as you move through life, maybe one spirit guide will fade out, another one will come in. There's many spirits around us at all times to guide us, and guardian angels. So I would like to invite you to close your eyes. Begin to slow down your breathing. Drop into your heart center, ground yourself. Feel why you came here today. Feel your feet grounding you into the earth and the string pulling you down, grounding you to the earth, as well as the string connecting up through your crown chakra, connecting you to the heavens. And releasing any anger, any frustration that you may have in your everyday life. And remembering that anger does not serve you, it ages you. It ages all your cells in your body. And to follow the teachings of forgiveness. And when you get angry, when you start feeling that temptation, to instead send blessings. Because karma will be the ultimate judgment in this world, as well as God. Instead of getting angry, send them blessings. And now we will meet the spirit guides. I want you to imagine that you're in a beautiful park, nature tailored to your comfort. And in this park, you see an archway of vegetation leading to a magic circle. And as you approach that archway and pass through it, it's a portal leading you to your personal safe space, your personal interior chamber of serenity. and go in there. And as you are in that safe space, that chamber of your own personal serenity, you see either one or several doors around the perimeter of that chamber. And I want you to invite your most trusted spirit guides to come through and reveal themselves. And note their appearance. And know that they are always there to guide you through your life, through the hard times, through the good times, to give you advice on how to affect this world in the most positive way you possibly can in this lifetime. Now slowly come back into your body and come back into this room. And you can open your eyes now. Hopefully you've met some spirit guides that can positively impact you. So now that the warm-up is done, we're going to do something a little bit more advanced. I've been really into astral travel ever since I would say like the late 90s. When I saw the movie Waking Life, I thought that's an amazing concept of being able to astral travel and lucid dreaming. And I've kind of been practicing it ever since. It's about going into meditation and consciously leaving your body and going really wherever you want to go. And this also connects to the concept of remote viewing, which is actually a very formalized protocol that even has been developed by our military. With remote viewing, you do not know the target that you're going to end up seeing. There has to be a supervisor that sort of plans a target that you're unaware of. You go into meditation and trying to target what they're intending you to see without knowing it. Astral projection is a little bit more intentional. You can literally go anywhere you want and see what you see. And so for this presentation, there has been a lot of discussion recently about something called 3iATLAS, which is an interstellar object moving through our solar system, and a lot of controversy about whether this is natural, a comet, or perhaps something representing intelligence, perhaps a craft. Now, the expo I did before this was called Super Soldier Activation Expo in Florida. And this expo is a very different vibe than the one we're at now, but it was a lot of people who believe that they have been in black projects, in secret space programs, individuals that believe they actually serve in secret space programs that currently exist and go out, fulfill these roles in military programs and then come back. So a lot of people at this expo had a lot of different theories about what this interstellar object 3iATLAS was. What the mainstream is telling us about this interstellar object is that it was discovered July 1st, 2025 by the ATLAS telescope, which is the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System in Chile. It is a confirmed interstellar object that I believe even amateur astronomers can look at and take photographs of. It reached its closest point to the sun on October 29th at a distance of about 1.3 astronomical units, which is inside Mars's orbit. Its closest Earth approach will be on December of this year at a distance of 130 million miles, and it will fly by Jupiter in March of 2026, making its closest pass-by of any object in our solar system of 33 million miles. Now, this object is said to be 2 kilometers in length, which is about the size of Manhattan. And online, there has just been a fever pitch of commotion about this because of unusual maneuvers it seems to be making, color changes, readings of its composition that many indications seem to be unnatural, something that was made by some form of intelligence. So we're going to do together an astral projection to this object to see what we see both on its surface and on its interior, to see, is it a comet or is it a craft? And I don't want to influence what you're going to be seeing by telling you what maybe other people had theories about, but some questions to consider: that if this is a craft, is it some form of a mothership? Is it some form of a capital ship? Is it galactic imperial? If it is a ship, who is running it? Two of the main extraterrestrial races that are talked about in UFO circles on this planet are the Anunnaki and the Pleiadian, with the Anunnaki often being thought of as to represent more of the negative faction and the Pleiadians more of the positive. Now, of course, there are individuals on both sides of that equation that could be on the other side, or double agents, turncoats. Could this craft be associated with New Jerusalem and prophecies about revelations in the Bible? Or could this craft be inhabited by another type of being altogether? Jupiter is a gas planet, as we know. And within channeling and ufology circles, Jupiter is thought to be inhabited by gas giant type beings. So another thing to consider is this craft, if it is a craft, dead or alive? Meaning, is it functional or could it possibly be derelict? And if this is an imperial craft, could these be the regional rulers of our solar system and galaxy, or could these be foreign invaders? So those are all sort of theories to consider. And we'll see what we see. And I'll invite people to maybe share what they have seen at the conclusion of this short meditation. And I'll share what I believe it might be, as well as the possibility to consider that it could all just be stories in our media that have been put out to mislead us, or perhaps align with certain occult or astrological dates. So look into whether this could all be made up in the first place. Now, I do believe in outer space. There are many people in the movement I'm a part of, which is the truth movement in general, that are more like flat Earth. They don't believe in outer space. I do believe in the solar system and outer space, but I do also believe that we've been deceived about many, many things, including possibly the basic construct of our reality. But the fact that amateur astronomers are seeing this object, as well as more professional government agencies, suggests that this is something that is moving through our solar system. So as intuitive and psychic beings, the psychic army of the light, we should be able to get at least some idea. And sometimes it's just whatever pops in your mind first. Or sometimes it's maybe take a few hits at it and see what resonates the most. But we're going to do this short meditation and just try to astral project there to see what we can discover. Does that sound fun? Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever attempted astral projection before. Okay, so we got some experience. So once again, I'll invite you to close your eyes. Slow down your breathing. Feel your body. And as you feel your body, consciously step outside of it. Either one step or somewhere else in your room so that you're seeing your body through your third eye from beyond your body. And now I want you to begin from your third eye's perspective, ascending upward. Ascend out of this room through the ceiling, through the roof of this expo center, into the atmosphere. See the beautiful day outside, the beautiful fall sunlight hitting Cincinnati, floating upward, upward, seeing the whole city of Cincinnati, seeing the whole state of Ohio, floating among the clouds, feeling your body swimming through the sky like you're swimming through water, and going all the way up into the darkness of space. And from high Earth orbit, you can see Earth down below. You can see the sun up above at a distance to the south. And you see a tiny object way out there, somewhere between the orbit of Mars and Venus about. And now, accelerate towards that object. That is 3iATLAS. Speeding through our solar system, speeding past the orbit of Venus, getting closer to the sun, and approaching what is 3iATLAS. And seeing it as just a light from afar, but as you get closer and closer and closer, you're seeing more details on its surface. Its color, note its texture, explore if there's any inhabitants, comet or craft, and even if it is a comet, try to look back in time and see where did it come from, how did it get on this trajectory towards our Jupiter, and ask what business does it have at Jupiter and in our solar system. And if you can, look all the way inside of it, natural or intelligently designed, and note its composition, and perhaps any of its inhabitants. Now slowly start coming back to Earth, back to our solar system, back towards our beautiful blue planet. Come down through the sky, come back to Cincinnati, Ohio, come back to the convention center, and come back into your body. And you can open your eyes now. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share?
First, I want to start off by saying that I kind of did that like a couple weeks ago for the first time, and it wasn't really planned. I was like kind of meditating, and then obviously I've heard about the 3iATLAS and everything, so I was just like, maybe I can ask, not thinking it would work. And then it did, and then I started like, just like now, my eyes were like twitching really hard, and like I get cold chills, specifically on my arms. Anyway, asked them like what they were doing. Asked them what they were doing, and they said that the longevity thing. When you said the word longevity, that hit because from them I heard. I said, "Are you here to save us?" Basically, which is a human egotistical thought, right? I already can acknowledge that. But they said, "No, we're not here to save you. Like, we're here to essentially save ourselves and everything in connection, because the Earth's and like solar system's longevity and health is they're reliant on it, and other things are reliant on it, and something about the energy, the vibe, like raising it, and how people who are making like the Earth sick and stuff, the low vibrational people, that this sounds like a terrible word. I don't even, it's like like eradicate, kind of like get rid of them, because the Earth isn't going to last if they're here, and it's not going to be in like a plague kind of way where like it's dramatic and everybody is dying. It's like a thing that will happen for like generations and be like subtle. I don't know. That's what I think.
Hey, all answers are welcome. Bonnie?
Okay, you talked about the origins, so I saw a lot of them coming out, and they were copper colored. And ours is like, I got chrysalis, and it's white and a kind of a glowing green membrane inside of it. And I don't feel like it's like heading specifically like to us. It's almost like a butterfly trying to get somewhere, but I didn't really hone in on any more of that.
Okay. Well, I'll let you guys know sort of a couple other theories plus my theory. One of the people that was at the Super Soldier Conference that was very tapped into galactic affairs, her main assessment was it's imperial. And to me, what that means is, as we know on Earth, we have kings and queens and royal houses. And I'm a fairly firm believer that that type of a structure extends off planet, that there is most likely at least families or royal houses claiming ownership of this planet and this solar system and this galaxy. And there could be multiple claims, of course, but it comes down to who has the firepower to enforce that claim, essentially. Some other things that people were reading was that this is a craft with one operator and many other beings in stasis, like we've seen in many films. Oftentimes when a craft is traveling very long distance, the crew is in hypersleep with essentially one operator, either human or android. That's another question is, are these biological beings, gaseous beings, technological silicon-based beings? And like I said before, is this craft functional or derelict? Because some people have viewed this craft through remote viewing and seen that it's essentially derelict, that perhaps it was damaged in battle and is simply just floating, even though it was made by an intelligence. So this is sort of my theory on it.
Truth seekers, are you ready to uncover the secrets they don't want you to know. At DSMP.io, we're not just a store. We're a portal to the unknown. Prints and posters that unveil hidden truths, from ancient mysteries to modern cover-ups. Fill your space with tapestries woven with cosmic secrets. Tap into the energy of hand-selected crystals to awaken your mind. Explore exclusive packets packed with forbidden knowledge. Cleanse your body and spirit with products designed to strip away the toxins of a corrupted world. In the chaos of today, we give you the tools to stay sharp and to stay awakened. This is more than shopping. This is a movement. Step through the portal. Discover the truth. DSMP.io. Truth disguised as art.
And it starts with a newsflash related to Ashtar Command, is that within the understanding of Pleiadians and the teachings of Ashtar Command is that there is much more happening in our planet and in our solar system than we can see. A lot of our star family and these, what you can consider angel force is another term for Ashtar Command itself. Angel force is present at all times, and our sky is actually filled with their crafts at all times, which are most often invisible to our eyes because they're of a higher dimensional frequency, or they're intentionally cloaked. A big thing was talked about in the Ashtar circles is cloudcraft, specifically lenticular clouds, which you see more out west, but sometimes they randomly appear in these parts. Our clouds are essentially UFO shaped, and a lot of people connect with those and receive the telepathic clue that these are actually cloaked crafts, and many others are simply invisible. I had a friend tell me recently that she had an experience at a music festival where she was on some third eye enhancing medication, plant medication, but she actually, it was revealed to her that she looked up in the sky and it was like filled with craft. And filled with is obviously relative. I would say that there's essentially like always craft monitoring our planet that are invisible, which is what I believe actually. Not like solid filled, but it's like they're always present at varying altitudes as well. So what's notable about 3iATLAS is that it is not cloaked. If it is a mothership or some kind of a capital ship, it's notable that they are not afraid to be seen. They're not trying to hide themselves. So whether they're part of the good guys or the bad guys, that's notable that they're making themselves known to our planet, even to amateur astronomers. So that tells me that it isn't something important. The woman at the other conference that was saying it's imperial, that resonated with me, that I believe this is connected to some form of the royalty that monitors these parts of the galaxy, and I believe there could be a shift in that actually happening as well, because a lot of people believe that our planet is currently moving from the Yuga cycle of darkness to the Yuga cycle of light, and so there is a shift in the leadership happening, and that this could be the new leadership coming in, perhaps, or perhaps just coming in to witness planetary ascension happen. Or like you were saying, perhaps coming in to possibly remove some of the negative factions off of this planet. Another thing that's unusual about this craft, the way it's flown by the sun and the way it's expected to pass by Jupiter is often known in space travel as a gravitational assist or a gravitational slingshot. And this is the way NASA plots the course of a lot of the probes they send into space to pass certain planets at a certain distance, which launches them on the other side of the planet in the direction that they want to go. And so the way this object is coming to our solar system, moving around the sun and moving around Jupiter, it seems, well, essentially there is a minute chance that would happen just by chance in nature. The fact that it would go so close to Jupiter and the sun is like a very, very small probability, which makes it look like it may be some kind of intentional maneuver. And I even wonder if it may be, since it's coming so close to Jupiter, could it be on a path to actually dock with Jupiter or one of its moons. I hate to refer everything to science fiction, but the two movies that really come to mind are both Dune, the way Dune represented the royal houses of the galaxy, and Jupiter Ascending also portrayed, royal houses ruling our planet and the galaxy, and actually even portrayed them having a base under the clouds of Jupiter. So these are all possibilities, or of course, like I mentioned before, the gas beings of Jupiter. Whether gas beings can build a physical craft or not, I don't know a whole lot about them, but another movie that really opened my mind and a lot of people's minds about the possibilities of extraterrestrial life was Arrival, where a ship came to Earth and it ended up being inhabited by somewhat gaseous octopus-like beings. So our conceptions of extraterrestrials in humanoid form may not even be so accurate. So my final conclusion is whether this is real or fake, this tells me that disclosure is coming. We've had, even in the past 8 years, disclosure on the mainstream media of what they call the Tic Tac UFOs, videos that were captured by the US Air Force and Navy of small craft exhibiting anti-gravity properties. And for the discussion to be happening about this 3iATLAS, about literally like a mothership possibly coming into our solar system, is just preparing people for ultimate ET disclosure in the mainstream eventually, which I do believe is coming. So it's best to be prepared so that when these revelations do come, you're not the one acting like a deer in the headlights to higher intelligent beings. So it excites me, and I also believe in the possibility of what's written in Revelations about New Jerusalem being some form of a golden craft that may land on the planet. But I believe that they come in peace. I believe our planet is already ruled by negative ETs, and that they're slowly being routed out, and that new energies are coming in. And I also believe in, like I've mentioned several times, if you're aware of the Hindu concept of the yuga cycles and the way our galaxy is moving through different energetic parts of the larger, or how our solar system is moving through different energetic parts of the galaxy, essentially determines the frequency of our planet and whether it's more conducive to dark rulers or light rulers. So with that in mind, coming into the age of light, what we can consider the new age, or new Earth and our golden age, I would like to do one last meditation about manifesting that and what we would like our world to look like. I think most of us have realized that our current world is very corrupt. None of us like the taxation system. A lot of us look at the architecture and the 9-to-5 schedule, and it just doesn't resonate with a lot of us Starseeds, and probably a lot of people, pretty much anyone. I don't know if anyone says, oh, I love paying taxes and working 9-to-5. So I've been thinking a lot personally about how should our society be structured. I've been thinking about this ever since 2003. Ever since I went to college, I actually even wrote a book about how I think our world is essentially going to fall apart and be put back together. And I think it's some of these thought leaders that might be here today that could serve a big role in actually determining how it is put back together. So I did get the cue, but we're going to do a short meditation on manifesting New Earth and what we would like it to look like, and think about the architecture, think about the way of life, think about the community structure, and here we go. So let's all close our eyes and look into the future. Think about building a new city, a new colony of like-minded individuals focused on peace, focused on living in harmony with nature, eliminating pollution, eliminating poverty, and what that looks like. Building Starseed City, building sovereign, colonies of New Earth, and the architecture and the roads and how we spend our days improving our society and the world. All right, let's come back. And on that subject, the big question there is, we have so much scarcity today, and we see the inflation. How are we going to build these things? How are we going to change our world? Well, I believe a solution is coming. I have one diagram called the 𝕯𝖊𝖚𝖚 map, which is about the reset of our financial system. And in this truth community, we've been heavily advised over the past 8 years to transfer our money from these failing fiat currencies into gold and silver. And beyond that, we've been guided towards a certain set of cryptocurrencies, which are called the ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrencies. Now, if you're not into currencies, crypto, you might be a little bit confused by this. But essentially, in the truth community, at least in my perspective, and a lot of the people I follow, which are, I believe, take into account the most amount of data, we believe that Bitcoin, the US dollar, and the euro are essentially all going to crash in the fairly near future. Now, conspiracy theorists have been saying the economy is going to crash for a long time, and it has not crashed completely. But we're seeing more and more signs. Inflation is slowly becoming what you might consider hyperinflation. And a lot of people are looking for ways to hedge their savings. And of course, this is not financial advice, but this is a lot of the conclusions that I believe some of the most informed people researching both global affairs and the financial markets have come to, is that the cryptocurrencies of the ISO 20022 protocol, which actually just came into effect Friday night, ISO 20022, which is set by Swiss standards of transferring money internationally, became the mandatory computer language, essentially, for transmitting money internationally. And so the cryptos that are compliant with that are number one, XRP, XLM, Algorand, Hedera hash graph. They say Quant, and there's different lists. Cardano, XDC, and IOTA are the main ones. And so I have all that information on free downloads on my website if you want to go review that. But these investments have paid off so far. If we were receiving this advice, like I said, at least since 2020, I really got into investment myself in 2021. Which was a big bull run, and then things crashed a little bit, but continued accumulating throughout the past 4 years. And since the election last year, when we saw a big pump in crypto, and we also have seen gold hitting all-time highs this year, this advice we've received in the truth community has really paid off so far, and I believe is going to keep paying off even more into the future. But this is still very sort of esoteric information, even within financial communities. And in the new earth, it's important that people that have good in their heart are the ones that are empowered through financial resources to build good things, instead of the evil matrix that we have today that's all dominated by big banks and giant JP Morgan buildings in New York City. So I believe that a lot of funding is coming to more good-hearted people through those means, through the recommendations that have been passed down, and we're expecting those funds to be hitting, within at least the next 5 years, probably much sooner. And that could give us the means to actually construct things like we were just envisioning, what I like to call Starseed City is my ultimate vision. I have ideas about the architecture, and of course we're waiting for advancements as well in architecture. Propulsion technology, energy technology could really allow these things to be built much more quickly and easily. But the big thing for me that I'm still working out is how we're going to structure society, because now this may sound a little bit like communism, which I'm no longer completely opposed to, since China now appears to be more advanced than we are in the US, at least with their public transportation. But I'm really feeling like at the most advanced stage of this, it will be like a cashless starseed, almost like a communal sovereign colony is the way I would describe it. And so thinking about what's actually the organizational structure of that, are we still going to have a House and a Senate? Are we going to have, perhaps, I believe in the future of New Earth is more like a council of elders type of a setup. And just how that's all going to work. How is commerce going to work? If the old world is coexisting with these new starseed or New Earth colonies, will it be possible to still trade with the old world perhaps while having more of a cashless, abundant society within these break-off colonies? It's something I've been thinking about for almost 25 years now. And so I do believe these things are coming, that even I believe that Tesla has said, Elon Musk has said that they are going to be doing a flying car revelation, product demonstration, possibly by the end of this year, that he said will actually be the coolest product launch ever. So that's telling me that we may be seeing some anti-gravitational technologies introduced in the near future. Not that that will be the solution for everything, but the roads and the power lines have been ways that the current rulers have kept us locked into their grid, prevent us from exploring, prevent us from having, like a beautiful sovereign colony off in the nature somewhere. We've all been reliant on these power companies, which, as we know, the power companies owned by Rockefeller, owned by Rothschild. This is how they've kept us sort of trapped in their matrix. So before all that happens, like I said before, we are expecting the crash of these currencies, the fall of empires, but hopefully they will be managed and relaunched by people that are qualified to set up a benevolent structure of society. And so the important thing to remember is that angel force is always with you. God provides when you do his mission. In the old system, the devil rewarded the wicked, and in the new system, the meek shall inherit the earth. And so I end this with Adonai. And they're probably kicking me out, but until they kick me out, does anyone have any questions? All right, well, that will be the conclusion. Thank you so much. My website, thank you. My website is DSMP.io. I did not bring flyers here, but you can get a flyer at my booth, Ashtar Outpost. And once again, we have free downloads of the healing diagrams as well as the financial diagrams. And so highly encourage you guys to get the free downloads, share them, and if you like those, we sell them as printed versions as well. So thank you very much, and namaste.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
Welcome to the future of finance. political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people.
Now before the storm.
What's going to
You'll find out. You'll find out.